What's up, guys? So I want to tell you about the calculate time between events feature from PlusThis. Just a real brief synopsis. This is going to be used to calculate the amount of time between two different things. So like the application of this tag and the application of that tag, or the time somebody was added to your database and the time of their first purchase. Lots of use cases for this. Let's jump into a clip from a webinar and I'll show you how I use it. Guys, this one is blowing my mind in real time. It is calculate time between events. The way that this works is pretty straightforward. So it allows you to calculate the amount of time between two events, okay? The reason that that's important is think about the progression path that I laid out for my business, right? I talked about people becoming blog subscribers. I talked about people becoming customers of my courses. I talked about people becoming OG members. I talked about people, right? So those are like, there's these attending events was the final one. There's these milestones in your business. Those are the milestones in my business, but obviously your business will have its own milestones. So the way that this tool works is it allows you to calculate how long did it take from the contact being added to my database to become a blog subscriber? And how long did it take from the contact being added to my database to become a customer? And how long from the contact being added to my database to become a member, and how long, et cetera, et cetera. So if you can begin to identify what your milestones are, this tool will show you exactly how long it takes from one milestone to the next. It also may reveal that the milestones don't happen in the order that you suspected. There we go. So here's how this feature works. You select event one, you select event two, you store that information back to a custom field in Infusionsoft. You give that feature a name and they give you an actual feature here. So here's the campaign I'm building. This is brand new. Some of these features I set up last week or this morning or last month, but a month ago, none of this existed. And I'm still toying with what metrics I should be tracking, right? But what this does is it tells me the amount of time from contact being added to becoming a new customer, the amount of time from contact being added to becoming a blog subscriber, the amount of time from the contact being added to becoming to be added to my nurture sequence. So let's see, in PlusThis, you can see I've got new to nurture, okay? Edit settings, you can see it's tracking from the date the contact was created to the date that this tag was applied. I actually have a trigger tag that launches my nurture campaign. So the reason that's important is because I store that information back to a custom field. I believe I have to allow a negative number in case, well, in this case, I shouldn't, but depending on the interval of the things you're tracking, they may not happen in the order you suspect. So sometimes allowing a negative number allows you to reveal that. But then I can put those things on my dashboard. Let's go to my dashboard. I can begin to track time till blog, time till customer, time till nurture. Now, the reason I didn't include a screenshot of this is because I'm not 100% confident that I've done this right. The 6 months until they join my nurture sequence feels a little bit long. 53 days till blog, 3 months till they become a customer. You know, some of those feel a little more accurate, but I've got some finessing to do. But the point I'm trying to make here is that I'm really excited about what this tool could be used to reveal about my customer journey. If you follow, Monkeypod or the content I put out, I've really been trying to focus more on the journey that I have created for my customers, or more importantly, the journey that has emerged, right? If you think about, the point of purchase, something happens before it, something happens after that purchase, and the composition of those three things is your customer's journey. And once you accept that, it becomes less about whether or not the journey exists and more about like, okay, what does that journey look like? And to me, building features or tools like this is going to be a really critical part in unpacking the reality of my journey and figuring out where those gaps are, why it takes 3 months for someone to become a customer, why it takes 6 months for them to join the nurture sequence. And then once you've figured out what your baseline is, how you can start to trim those windows down, how you can start to, encourage people to become a blog subscriber sooner and encourage people to become a member sooner or a customer sooner, right? If you know what that normal runway is, if you've established that status quo, you can begin to try to address it or make strides to improve it. All right, guys, that is the calculate time between events feature. If you are a PlusThis user, then this is definitely one you want to take a look at and start setting up for your business. Identify the milestones that are important to you, and then use this feature to see how long it takes people to get from one milestone to the next. And obviously, that can inform your decision as to where you need to spend some time. If you are not yet a PlusThis user, this is just another reason to check it out and possibly layer it into your tech stack if you think that the insights will be useful to you. Later.